Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens. It's not going so well.
10 years.
Yeah, I know. I saw pictures of us taking the kids. We were all excited. We thought,
yeah, and I scraped together money because that was back when we talked about how you were laid off, and we didn't have, there's been times we almost lost our house and stuff. And I scraped so much money because I was so excited. And then I went in, and it was the better of the three, but I was still like, wait, didn't we already see this movie? Wasn't it called like A New Hope and a little bit of Empire and some Jedi in there?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this because man, it's not going real well. Like, I guess Disney didn't really acknowledge it a whole lot, and there are people that are mad about it. A lot of the media outlets are like, yeah, The Force Awakens was kind of the beginning of a very poorly conceived Star Wars trilogy. They're admitting that now.
They didn't even have a plan. Like, that's what we kept talking about. We kept saying, like, when you do these kinds of things, you usually have, if you're going to do 3 movies, you usually know what's going to happen in each movie. And then the people you bring in, 1, you keep usually the same team, or as many the same team as you can. 2, you're going to be like, okay, in this one, we know this, you can do these things, but they have to be around this plot point. You get this plot point and that plot point. They had none of that. Like, I don't understand it. Like, there was no planning. It's like it's basically Bob Iger's. If we slap Star Wars on it, people will come.
Yeah. And they did at first, and then The Last Jedi definitely was definitely the kill shot for.
The Last Jedi ruined Star Wars. I mean, there's no question.
Well, we're going to talk about Mark Hamill. He's out there in an interview saying that, I'm sure he's joking, but he kind of jokes, but he's not really joking. He's like, who knew that being able to die from an overdose of the Force was a thing?
I didn't even know why he died, honestly. I didn't know. I didn't care. I didn't care enough to ask. I was like, he used up his energy or something. I didn't get why. Like, there wasn't an explanation. That's what it was. He OD'd on the Force. Yeah,
so I think that is still irritating him to this day. The way that Luke Skywalker was handled, and that's why he wanted to go back with the Mandalorian and do Luke proper justice.
It's funny to me because they kept trying to argue that, oh, no, that's exactly how he'd be. And jaded Luke was handled properly, and that's what they tried to argue. But then that was the case, why were so many fans mad? If that was the case, why is Mark Hamill mad? If that was the case, why did the franchise fall off a cliff after you did that? You know what I'm saying? Fans, for the majority, think that wasn't the right way to handle it. And they act like, oh, that's totally in character. But it wasn't in character. And then when they brought him back in The Mandalorian, like you mentioned, people went nuts.
So let's talk about this, and then we're going to talk about the media finally wising up and being like, yeah, the Star Wars sequel trilogy was a huge failure. For years, they gaslit the fans into thinking that it was them. It was a them problem. They're just a bunch of Nazis.
You can send apologies and kiss my butt, and you can send it to, either on social media or a shout out at Clownfish TV. Is it .com?
Apologies? Oh no, we're gonna get more than apologies. So I'm good. Just keep your opinions to yourself.
Kevin Smith, you can also reach out and apologize. Here's my butt. Kiss it.
So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to more.clownshishtv.com. That's moreclownshishtv.com. Yeah, well, I guess this makes Mark Hamill a racist, bigoted Nazi.
Well, I was like, did he take a break from TDS long enough to have these opinions?
Yeah, I know. So I'm sure he was joking, but not joking. He did not seem like, look, if you remember back when The Last Jedi came out, he did not seem happy with it because he was unhappy that he got cut from The Force Awakens. They were going to have more Luke Skywalker in it, but they cut it. And he's like, well, that's okay. I get the next, 2 movies to be Luke again. And that's what they're saving it for. No.
Well, I remember there was after The Force Awakens, there was a thing where he was sitting with Kathleen Kennedy and they were supposed to be talking about something and he didn't say anything. And then he goes, oh, am I allowed to talk now? Or something like that. And I think it was really set up, but I was like, burn, because it was stupid. Like, you don't find Luke anywhere. He's nowhere to be found. His friends are in trouble. He's not even there. He's hiding somewhere for doing something stupid that he never would do. And then you see him and he never speaks at all. And when he does speak, he starts, sucking milk out of a teat and spilling over his face and throwing lightsabers over his shoulder.
From a Muppet. I want to add, he's not just sucking, he's not just going randomly going around like just grabbing women and being like, hey.
Well, I'm assuming people watch this video know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The AI doesn't, which is probably why you're saying that.
Yes. Anyway, so he sucks a Muppet in the, there we go.
It's not real person. Anyway, and they were so worried about porgs and stuff like that, and it was just I have no words. It was dumb. I didn't know it was supposed to be a force OD.
A force overdose. So this was I think at a convention or something. So Hamill commented once again on Luke's death in The Last Jedi and said that an overdose of the Force had been, if it had been a real risk, Obi-Wan and Yoda should have warned him. Hamill's legendary character passed away during The Last Jedi's climax. Is that what you called it? He basically phoned it in. Like, come on, dude.
But if overdosing in the Force was a thing, why is the Emperor still around?
I know, right?
You know?
The death of Star Wars original hero is a controversial topic among the franchise's fans.
It's not a controversial topic. I think most people agree that it was dumb.
It broke Star Wars. It broke Star Wars. Even Hamill has admitted he had issues with his character's role in the movie. Now, in fresh comments on Luke Skywalker's demise, Hamill has said he would have expected his mentor, Obi-Wan and Yoda, to mention the dangers of a Force overdose.
Wait, so they weren't in the books? Didn't he have like the books, but they weren't in the books?
They weren't. Rian Johnson just made up a whole bunch of new force powers and the Holdo maneuver and all this shit. Like, he's like, I was a huge fan of Star Wars. Let me just like make up a whole bunch of new shit.
That's what they always do. It's like, I love everything. I love it so much. Let's change everything about it.
Let's change everything. So this is on, CBS this morning. He said, it's funny, people miss the irony that Luke Skywalker died from an overdose of the Force. I mean, who knew that was even a thing?
Don't you? A thing.
No. Don't you think if there was even a marginal chance that using the Force could be lethal, Obi-Wan would have said, use the Force in moderation, Luke, or Yoda would have said, overdue Force projection, you must not. Nobody warned me, but obviously they concluded his story. He died. He said somewhat tongue-in-cheek. He said it's something he does. He said, Luke was now a naked Force ghost after dying and leaving his robes behind, but undoubtedly the actor knows well enough the reasons why Luke did what he did. No,
he doesn't. Nobody gets the reasons because it was stupid. They were stupid reasons.
He says right here, he said, still, the comments come after the actor previously expressed his own personal dissatisfaction for Luke's state of being in The Last Jedi, which he described as the former Jedi Master having become a suicidal hermit. Indeed, Hamill said that he had ultimately rationalized Luke's behavior by creating his own incredibly dark backstory that involved the death of his son, something that definitely isn't part of the Disney canon. No, he just tried to kill his nephew for no damn good reason.
Right.
You know, it's like, yeah, I'm going to give my father 50 benefits of the doubt and try to turn him back, even though he's trying to freaking kill me and threatening to kill my friends. But you know what? Yeah, let's go kill Kylo in his sleep. Let's go kill Ben. It makes no sense.
Then none of this made any sense. It was not in character for him at all.
Yeah. So this too, this goes against what they did in the Disney canon. They said, yeah, I thought what could make someone give up a devotion to what's basically a religion, to give up being a Jedi, the love of a woman. So he falls in love with a woman. He gives up being a Jedi. They have a child together.
Mara Jade.
God. Yeah, but she's quasi Jedi adjacent too. But at some point, the child, as a toddler, picks up a lightsaber and kills himself.
Yeah, I've heard that he said this before.
So the wife is so full of grief, she kills herself. Oh, my God. And then Luke walks in and he force projects himself somewhere else and dies.
So this is like a gun control allegory, you know? Oh, my
probably. I don't know.
But, I mean, he's right, though, in the fact that Luke being Luke, it would have taken something massive, like massive. He would have either turned into a complete ass hat by something like that, like he describes, or he'd be in hiding because he's trying to protect his family and friends. It wouldn't be because of something as stupid as they made it out to be. And it was dumb. And the whole thing was, all they had to do was bring the old cast, put them all back together, which they didn't do. That was the given. That was the bare minimum, which you didn't even do that. And then they could have just like spent the next movie, you know, teaching them, passing the torch, you know, a little bit in the last movie where then they take over and they run with it. And that would have been the setup for moving forward. But no, that would be too much sense and that would be too easy.
I love this headline. This comes from space.com. 10 years later, The Force Awakens stands as the blueprint for a Star Wars that never was. Back in December of 2015, The Force awakened in Star Wars, but then it quickly went back to sleep.
It didn't even really awaken. It was like, it just like, it had deja vu for a movie. And then when they thought it was going to get good and we get new stuff, it just crapped the bed. It had a conflict of what it was and then fizzled out.
Yeah, it just, God, it really was the start of something that they didn't know how to finish. Like, I mean, seriously, they were in such a hurry. Here's the thing. Disney was in such a damn hurry to make money off of Star Wars They didn't plan it out. They're just like, let's just do a movie and TIE fighters and stormtroopers and rebels and Empire and just call them something else and pew 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 and a new cute droid because we bought this company or whatever the hell. And merchandise, baby, merchandise. And they shot it out, and then people realized pretty quickly there was no story. Like they set all this stuff up and there was no story.
It was very obvious. They didn't have a plan. And then by The Last Jedi, it became, really, really obvious. And people the shills are still like, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. And then they did Rise of Skywalker where they walked back everything again. And then they were like, oh my gosh, guys, I don't think they planned this out. And it's like, oh, no, kidding. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. It's kind of deja vu, though, because it kind of played like the Star Wars prequels where the Phantom Menace made a ton of money, and then people were kind of like, didn't come back for Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Actually, Revenge of the Sith did pretty good, and it's still pretty well regarded.
Yes, because you like it a lot.
Well, it did really well, and they re-released it.
Yeah, well, that's they didn't re-release this one for the 10th anniversary, did they?
No, that was an interesting choice because the original Star Wars, every time they had an anniversary, it got a re-release in the theater. They released it in the 80s, again, the original. Empire and Jedi were re-released multiple times.
Well, they're probably going to release all of them. We know they're going to do Star Wars and stuff in 27 for the 50th or whatever. So they're going to release this again probably in the 50th. But it's just no one cares. Like they didn't even remember to put up that it was the birthday until people complained about it.
Yeah.
Their own account didn't remember until people complained.
Well, that's it. So people were saying on X, they're like, yeah, it's a real shame that the official Star Wars account is ignoring the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens. They did post something an hour ago. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens. But mostly it's like we're going back to Rogue One, which people like, The Old Republic, which people like, John Williams. Everybody likes John Williams. And that bullshit kids show that the toys were in Ollie's before they were even in the store. But
yeah, they're people, I see them at these shops that buy up the clearance crap and then mark them up. I see them there and they still can't get rid of it.
Yeah, they're not really posting much. Actually, the official Star Wars account's not really posting much. I think what's going on is Disney just knows it was a huge misfire. I mean, it wasn't a misfire at the time. That's what they're trying to talk about with the media is they're like, The Force Awakens was a massive financial success, and then they dropped the ball, big time.
Even then, it was. I mean, people were like, "Okay, yeah, it rehashed a lot of stuff, but it's setting up, so now it's going to get new stuff." And people were excited. I know. I was like, "What?" I already saw this movie, and I was the one that was saying that Rey was a Mary Sue and all that stuff because I was. It started out okay, and then I was like, why can she know how to ride? She flies the Falcon better than Han. She knows how to fix everything. I'm like, don't like that. And then I'm like, okay, well, the next movie we're gonna have new stuff. So I'm excited. And then we were in there like 5 minutes, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
it's like your mama jokes.
Yeah,
and all that. And I was like, yeah, Star Wars has cringy jokes in it sometimes, but I was like, come on.
It was Marvel-fied for sure. Now it's interesting. They're dancing around the issue. It's like, look, just rip the damn Band-Aid off. The Last Jedi is what killed the sequel trilogy.
Oh, there's no question.
But they're like, oh, The Rise of Skywalker wasn't so good, and maybe it retroactively ruined the first movie. It's like they keep dancing around the issue that The Last Jedi is what broke the sequel trilogy for most people.
Yeah, they are, because a lot of the ones that are the writers that are writing this stuff were the ones who loved The Last Jedi and hated Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, they were mad when they walked stuff back. So these are the ones. If you look, a lot of them that gave reviews to it, The Last Jedi. Oh, it's the best thing ever. So of course they're not blaming it on that. They're the ones that were like, calling everybody, names and stuff like that for not liking it. That's because they're still mad because they liked it.
Yeah, that's what it is. But Mark Hamill, I think we said this would probably happen after there's been some time between the movies, that he probably would come out in his later years and be like, yeah, they treated Luke like shit. Well, because he did not seem happy at the beginning, but there we go. Yeah, it just came and went. Just such massive wasted opportunity, right? But that is current year Disney, I think, in everything they do. So we're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.